prophet unto the nation, back at you. All praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, Bahashem Ruach HaKadash. Double honors to the preachers, apostles, bishops out here pushing and preaching the truth, peace, and salutation to the hopeful elect. Just want to talk real quick about life is war. Life is war. And let me so many angles I could go to, but I go to Job chapter 7. Job chapter 7, I do verse 1. Okay. And then let me bring up a precept to go with this. Let's see. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12, I believe it is. Where's it at? Here we go. Let's see. Because we're going to, I'm sorry. It's chapter 9. Let's see. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27, I think it is. Yeah, there it is. So I bring that up. Listen, is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? So I hop over here to Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed unto man once to die, but after this, the judgment. Again, Job, is there not an appointed time to man upon the earth? Listen, life is not free. Hear me. Life is not free. The crazy thing about this life is too many of us want it to be easy. Too many of us want it to be like a vacation, so to speak. We want everything handed to us on a platter. We don't want to work for nothing. We don't want to toil for nothing. We don't want to endure nothing. We don't want to go through no type of hardship. And sadly, regrettably, a lot of these shows that we've been brought up on and a lot of these shows that we are looked at on TV plays a big part in our mindset. Plays a big part, especially these reality bullshit. All of these reality shows is nothing but bullshit. And if you watch them, and I don't care how strong you think you are, when you watch them, they play a part on your psyche, on your psychosis. And because of this, a lot of people want to live a life full of fantasy, full of bullshit, full of deceit and lies. Too busy looking at stuff that's not reality, not the truth. And when you find yourself having to undertake some type of situation or circumstances that's brought upon you through this life, the first thing or the first option that you're looking to is want to give up, want to quit, want to throw in the towel. The first thing you turn to is questioning the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You question your ability, you question your stance, you question, is this where the Most High wants you to be at in life? Because you are dealing with, as it says right here, verse 1, your appointed time. Your appointed time. Understand that an appointed time has to deal with 3 things as it relates to this life, and we're going to deal with it. I'm going to go grab some precepts. I got one precept up on the screen, Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. But understand, an appointed time is dealing with 3 things. Hear me. 3 things. Is dealing with the appointed time for you to suffer. Is dealing with the appointed time for you to be delivered. And is dealing with the appointed time where you have to stand before the Most High and be judged for your works here in the flesh. And a lot of us don't take this into consideration. And those of you that's suffering right now, those of you that's dealing with sickness or some type of pain in your life right now, don't think for one moment the Most High is not with you. It's just your appointed time. Job had his appointed time. Not because the Most High was angry with him, not because the Most High didn't like him, not because the Most High wanted to punish him, wanted to crush him underneath the heavy pressure of what he was dealing with as it relates to his circumstances. No, Job was going to do what he was going to do because it was his appointed time. Everybody have an appointed time to deal with troubles, an appointed time to deal with issues, appointed time to deal with trials and tribulations. Listen to what he said. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? Job here is exposing the illusion that many of us fall into, thinking that we supposed to grow up on easy street, then move to the street of lacidation, then go buy a house on the street of no trouble, no problem. That's not life. That's not life. After this world was thrust into sin due to the disobedience of Adam in the Garden of Eden in Genesis chapter 3, when he lost the paradise disposition, from that moment on, you was going to have to deal with troubles. You was going to have to deal with circumstance. And you have to understand this. You have to come to grips with this. Okay? And every now and then, the Most High allows you to be tried. He allows you to be put to the test. He allows you to undergo trials and tribulations so that you can see where your faith at. So you can see where your confidence at. He knows about you. He knows you in and out. He know where you strong at. He know where you weak at. But you don't know where you strong at. You don't know where you weak at if you're not tested, if you're not tried. You don't know what you're made of. And too often when we have to go through situations, we just want to sit there in pity, sit there in sorrow. We don't want to take our strikes as a man, as a woman. We just want everything to turn out the way we want it to turn out. But the Most High, he don't operate like this. Sometimes he want to get to the place where he able to brag on you. Like he bragged on Job in Job chapter 1. He said, "How you consider my servant Job?" So Job was not going through this because, like I said, the Most High was mad at him, but he went through this because the Most High was bragging on him. Every now and then when you find yourself going through something, the reason why your situation, the reason why your problems and your circumstance last longer than what it's supposed to last, because you don't know how to embrace your situation like Job. Job told his wife, "Should not we receive both good and evil from the Most High?" Come on, let's be real. We gotta stop allowing these false preachers, these false evangelists, this bullshit that we watch on TV impact the way we think. No, in this life, you're going to have trouble. Matter of fact, let me grab a precept. That same precept is over here in Job. I'll bring it up on the right side. And this is the Shabbat, y'all. Okay? We're giving a message. I know that initially we thought it was, but that's a whole topic in itself. We'll deal with that later. Listen to what Job chapter 14, verse 1 says. "Man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble." You only got a few days down here. We're not living long like they lived in the book of Genesis. Even for that matter in Exodus and what have you. You only got a few days down here on earth to do what you're supposed to be doing as it relates to your calling and purpose that the Most High has deemed for you to do. But too busy, we sit around gripe and grope and complain and murmur about our disposition. I don't have this. I'm dealing with this. I can't do that. This happened to me. So what? This is life. Life is war, man. But in the midst of the war, you should be a soldier of the Most High and endure hard. Matter of fact, that's a scripture. Let me grab it. We going into the precepts now. Gotta realize life is war, man. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3. Therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You a soldier, man. Watch what it goes on. No man that war entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. This is why you lose. This is why you defeated. This is why you don't overcome. This is the reason why you can't conquer, because your mind is entangled with things down here on earth. The scripture says, no man that go to war entangle himself with the affairs of this life, meaning his mind is on the Most High and what the Most High want him to do. You a good soldier. And what it means to be a good soldier, go back to what it is. Therefore, endure hardness. That's how you know you're a good soldier. But to be frank with you, a lot of you are not good soldiers, because when it comes time for you to endure hardness, you throw in the towel. You fall by the wayside. You lose your confidence. You lose your prayer life. You too busy asking the Most High, why me? Instead of enduring hardness as a good soldier. They don't want to hear about why me. He want to see is you going to keep pressing. He want to see is you going to keep praying. He want to see is you going to keep getting off your ass and working on your purpose. Working on your skill, working on that which he have pressed upon you to do as it relates to the affairs of this life, man. You don't think the prophet unto nations get sick? Huh? You don't think I got to deal with stuff? You don't think, I have to go over there and move money and do this and that just like the rest of people? Yeah, I do. But at the same time, I don't let that bother me. I look at it, this is life. This is what required of me as long as I live. But what I'm dealing with is my service to the Most High. What I'm dealing with is my praises to the Most High. What I'm dealing with is walking in the calling that the Most High has called me with. You got to endure hardness. Oh, my family is discombobulated. Endure hardness. I can't get no sleep at night. Endure hardness. I done lost my money. Endure hardness. Keep going to war. Keep fighting. Keep battling. Keep showing up to the war field. We are not afforded to take no time off. When you look at prophecy being fulfilled, when you look at what's coming out of the pipeline, when you look at the devastation that's coming, when you look how this world is about to be squeezed beyond measure, we got Jacob's trouble around the corner, you got the MOTB around the corner. When you look at all the wars and rumors of wars that's going on, the economy is on the brink of a collapse. And we're tired of getting carried up with the little, things of life. It's too serious out here. Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Go back to Job chapter 7, verse 1. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? You have an appointed time to go do your struggle. You have an appointed time to go do trials and tribulation. But if the Most High say you have an appointed time for that, then there is an appointed time for you to come out of it. But the reason why it linger, the reason why it steady go on, because you don't learn the lesson that you're supposed to be learning while you are in your troubles. Matter of fact, I told you there's 3 appointed times. You see here, there's an appointed time upon man, upon earth. There's an appointed time to struggle. Job knew this. It's appointed time to struggle. And I just showed you over here. Let me go back to Hebrews. Okay. Chapter 9, verse 27, bring it up right here. And there's a appointed time unto man wants to die. There's an appointed time for you to die. And I don't know, listen, I don't know why people don't even let this sink in their heart. Let this be the driving force in their mind. Huh? Karia, you got to understand this. One day you're going to have to die. You understand this? You're going to have to die one day. And because you're going to have to die one day, shift your mentality to focus on what the Most High have for you to do down here. Listen, I know one day I'm going to die. I know one day I got to leave this place unless Yahweh Shai crack the sky open. I know one day my body has to be buried in the cold earth, which is the terminology. A lot of people say you going to hell or this person going to hell. Hell is nothing but grave, man. That's all it is. It ain't know what they teach you. Hell is the grave. Even Yahweh Shai say he went down to hell. Man, matter of fact, let me see. I know I go in and out preaching, but all at the same time, when I say something, I got to take you there. Okay? Because a lot of people don't understand scriptures. Don't understand scriptures. But we are here. Matter of fact, let me grab, I think it's Psalm 6. Let me grab Psalm 16 first. You see this? Let me grab this first. Verse 8, I have set Yahweh always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I should not be moved. Therefore, my heart is glad and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also rests in hope. For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell. Hell is the grave, y'all. Neither would thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption. You see that? Listen, bring that up. And it take you to, let's go here. It said, "O death, where's thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?" You see that? It's talking about the grave. It ain't talking about no place of torment like they like to talk about in the church, man. But yeah, hell is the grave. It's where all of us have to go one day. If Yahweh Shai come, we're not going to have to go. But if he delay his coming, guess what? Everybody is going to the grave. Everybody. No matter who you are, no matter what you have done, but this should somewhat put fear in your heart, knowing that one day you got to go to the grave. Let me come over here real quick. Let me see. It says, verse 18, for Hamashiach, in other words, Christ, also have once suffered for sins, the just for the unjust, that he might bring us to Yahweh, being put to death in the flesh, but quickened by the Spirit, by which also he went and preached unto the spirits in prison. What is he talking about? He talking about when he went down into the grave, okay? So, yeah, man. All of us going to have to go back to the dust from whence we come. And I can grab that precept right quick. Matter of fact, let me grab it. Because I want y'all to see how important death. We so anybody, let me say this before I go here. Nah, let me bring it up on the screen. I got so much coming on my mind. But I got to rebuke some people right quick. Let me read this right quick. Verse 7 of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 says, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto Yahweh who gave it. This body of ours is going back to the grave. And let me say this. I got to rebuke some people now. Okay? Got to rebuke some people. Everybody that's scared of talking about death, talking about the grave, hear me. You must not be right with the Most High, because when you are close with the Most High, you're in right standing with the Most High, you're not afraid of death. You're not afraid of the grave, man. You got so many people talk about they believe in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Oh, I don't like talking about death. I don't like talking about Okaz. I don't like, well, then, is you right with the Most High? Is you in the love of the Most High? The scripture over there in 1 John, I believe chapter 4 said, perfect love casts out all fear. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Man, we just, like the Apostle Tahar said, we just talking about everything. We touching every topic. That's what we doing. I don't know why I went back to 1 Peter. I want 1 John. Yeah, excuse me. Let's go to 1 John. I think it's around here. Watch this, verse 17. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. You see that? Boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear have torment. People that's afraid to die, afraid to go to the grave, they're afraid because they are not made perfect in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, by Hashem, Ruach HaKadosh, love. You know the Most High love you. He ain't going to leave you no grave. You're going back to be with him, being resurrected to life eternal in the kingdom. Daniel chapter 12 talk about that. But we can't be afraid to talk about death. Death don't supposed to make you afraid. Do y'all hear me? But death supposed to be horsepower. You know, the cars that got the most horsepower and torque, they the ones that's going to take off the fastest to get to the point where they need to do the fastest. You understand that? For instance, if you got a car that got a 800 horsepower, just using that as an example, 800 horsepower, and you got close to 800 pounds of torque, right? That car gonna take off to 60. That's how they rate a lot of cars. From 0 to 60, that car gonna take off probably in 2 seconds to get to 60 miles per hour in 2 seconds. Maybe 3 seconds, depending on what type of car or how heavy it is, okay? That's what death supposed to be for you. Do y'all hear me? Just like horsepower, just like a torque. That's what death is for you in this life. It's supposed to make you. It's supposed to encourage you. It's supposed to empower you to get to the place that you're supposed to be, or to be walking in your destiny, or to be moving in your purpose as fast as like you're supposed to be doing. You hear me? But people who don't talk about death, people don't like to think about death, guess what? Their life is just roaming. They just going through the emotions. When you know one day you gotta die, when you know one day you gotta leave this place, you'll go back to Hebrews chapter 9. Let's go back. Verse 27, as is appointed unto man once to die. When you know you got an appointment with death, it makes you say, I can't sit still. It's too much I got to be doing. Yeah, I want some sleep. Yeah, I want to get some rest. But like the old folks say, I rest when I get to the grave. There's too much I got to do. It's too much I got to get in place for you. It's too much I got to do for the kingdom of the Most High. It's too much I got to do in helping my people. I don't got time to be wasting time because I have an appointment with death. One day I'm not going to open my eyes. One day my heart is not going to beat. One day I'm not going to be able to take a breath. And because of that, I know this. I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can for the kingdom. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? We back at Job. Listen. Are not his days also like the days of a hireling? You know what a hireling is? Let's bring this word up in the Hebrew so y'all can get understanding, okay? You see this? A hireling is a day laborer, a mercenary, hired soldier. So I'm going to bring this up so y'all can hear it, hear the word. And again, I'm studying from the Logos software. This is how I do all my studying. Here go the Hebrew word for it.
Sachir.
Sakir. A hireling, hired worker, mercenary, rented, hired, day laborer, hired labor, wage earner. All right, so let's shut this back down and let's go back to Job. He said, is there not an appointed time unto men upon earth? Are not his days also like the days of a... Listen, you are in contract with the Most High. He's your owner. He hired you. And because he hired you, you don't got time to be sitting down on the job. You don't got time to be lollygagging. You don't got time to be getting your feelings, your emotions. You don't got time to be wallowing in your weakness, wallowing in your sorrow. Do you hear me? You don't got time for that. The Most High hired me, just like he hired you. If you're alive, you are in contract with the Most High. Do y'all hear me? You don't got time to be thinking you can roam this place. And, you know, everybody talk about, you meet, and I hate to bring it out to relationships, right? And especially because I got to help you young men. You go meet these women, and the first thing, what you like to do? You're never hearing them talking about no passion, what they got a passion in life. When you ask me what I'm like to do, man, I like to get in the scriptures. I love to talk about the scriptures because this is the most important thing in my life. My family is important, but above my family, these scriptures is the most important thing to me. So when somebody talk about, hey, Prophet to Nation, what you like to do? I like to get in the word of the Most High. I like to pray. I like to seek his face. I like to call on the name of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. You go on so many dates, you ask these women, what you like to do? I like to go on vacation. That's all they think about. Vacation, vacation. Life is not full of vacation. We don't got time for that. You're hired from the Most High. And the Most High said, go into my vineyard and whatsoever right, that would I give you. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. I don't know why my mind is telling me Luke chapter 9. Let's go to Luke chapter 9. Let's see what that say. Listen. Verse 62. And Yahweh said, I said it to him, no man having put his hands to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. Watch what he goes on to say. After these days, the Lord appointed unto other 70 also, and sent them two and two before his face into every city and place whither he himself will come. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers, did I just tell you you are hireling for the Most High? That word labor, that word hireling means to be a laborer, a day laborer. Listen to what Yahweh said. The harvest truly is great, the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of harvest that he will send forth laborers, hirelings, into his harvest. We don't got time to be getting caught up. Yeah, every now and then you go on a vacation, but you got all these people, they want to take a vacation month after month, week after. I don't got time for all that bullshit. When I stand before the Most High, he ain't going to ask me about no vacation. He ain't going to ask me about this, that, and other. He going to ask me about what did you do in my vineyard? You saw that the harvest was ripe. Huh? You saw that was work to be done. Did you go work for me? Did you go labor? Then you got people. All right. I say, go verse 62, which I wanted to talk about. You got people who start putting their hands to work for the Most High. They get on fire for the Most High. They hunger and thirst for the Most High. But a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, they nowhere to be found. They done lost love for it. That passion they had for the Most High done died out, done waned out. And the Most High say, you can't start working for me. Huh? You can't start working for me and look back and want to go back into the world. You're not fit for the kingdom of the Most High. This is why I tell you, young man, listen. Make sure you find a woman whose mind is predicated on worshiping and serving the Most High with you. That's why when you leave a lot of these women, the first thing they do is they go back into the world. They ain't fit for the kingdom of the Most High. If you're going to be praying for a woman to come your way, pray for the woman that the Most High deemed fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Don't be praying for no bad bitch or no baddie. Most of them ain't fit for the kingdom of the Most High. That's why they all are caught up in the world, caught up in the society, caught up in the matrix, because they are not fit for the kingdom of the Most High. For those of you listening by way of YouTube, I got young men here. Okay? And that's why I brought it down to the relationship, because they in the, the conundrum dealing with these women today's society. Everybody want to go on a cruise. Everybody want to be taken up with pleasure. But this life is war. You have been hired by the Most High. And he didn't say it was going to be easy. He didn't say you're going to have a flowery bed of ease. No. He says work. And every day is work. Y'all hear me? Every day is work. Sometimes I get up and get to these videos, get to the scriptures, be tired, eyes red, but it's okay, because if I'm doing the work of the Most High, he got me covered. He'll make sure I'm all right. Got a lot of people walking around here talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It is going to prosper against your ass, because you're not engaged in what the Most High wants you to be engaged in. Why should he protect you? If you're not on the battlefield as a good soldier, then the weapon that's formed against you is going to get to you. But if you're a good soldier, Yahweh Shai, make sure you're all right. Listen, there's an appointed time. Everybody got an assigned time to struggle. That's what Job is letting you know here, right? Then he goes on to say, as a servant, earnestly desire the shadow. You know what he's talking about? When you're out there, and if our forefathers was alive who was in slavery, they'll tell you, when you're out there and working all day in the sun, what do you desire? Some shade. This life is war, and every now and then you try to find some shade from the sun that's beat down on you, because you're toiling in life, you're sweating, you out here grinding, you out here putting in work, and every now and then you look up to the Most High and say, I need a little shade. Need a little shade. He said, as a servant earnestly desire the shadow. In other words, you want relief. You want relief from what you're dealing with. You want some freedom from what you're dealing with. But he goes on to say, listen, and as a hireling look for the rewards of his work. The hardest thing to deal with. And I got to serve us another rebuke. The hardest thing they're going to rebuke for us to deal with is when you go to work as a hireling and you put in hard, rigorous work. And at the end of the day, or at the end of the week, or at the end of the month, Jody Joe, you don't get paid. Listen to what he said. Verse 2, as a hireling look for the reward of his work. I said this is a rebuke. Let me reiterate this. The hardest thing for you to do is work, for you to get on the grind, for you to build, for you to have a purpose-driven life. And at the end of the day, at the end of the week, or at the end of bi-weekly, or at the end of the month, or at the end of the year, you don't see no rewards for the work you put in. Here go the reboot. How dare you, young man? How dare you, young woman, to be full of complaining, to be full of a lack of faith, to be full of doubt? How dare you, young man? How dare you, young woman, to talk about all the time what you're dealing with and what you're not dealing with? When you're living in a time of a little reviving, go study Ezra chapter 9 when he prayed for a little revival. We living in a time of a little reviving. Do y'all understand me? We're living in a time of a little reprieve. And this is the rebuke. How dare you, when you can go work and get some type of wages for your work, and for you to not be happy or satisfied with life, when you're always walking around griping and groping about life, when you have some forefathers here in this land called America who worked for from sun up to sundown, who cried, who sweated, who grinded, who bled, and never saw no wages for their work. How dare you to feel bad about where your life is? How dare you to complain about where your life is? How dare you to sit up and have a pity party about where your life is? Do you want to change places with the slaves of old? Do you know they'll be way more happy than where you at right now if they traded places with you? You sit up, I wish my life was this or that. Damn it, they was enslaved and they worked and got nothing in return but heartache, but pain. We look for rewards. You sit up there, talk about, I don't make no much. How dare you? I'm not minimizing what you're going through, but the Most High is rebuking us right now. You're rebuking us. You talk about $90,000, $100,000, not enough money to live. What? They work and then get paid for nothing. Some of the slaves went not one day, not 2 days, but sometimes they went days without eating. How dare you talk about the times is hard and you got to eat the same food over and over. They eat food sometimes, and yet at the crack of dawn, they still have to get up and go out into the field. The Most High is rebuking us right now. You complain about where your life is. Yes, I know. Yes, and there are times, yes, the economy is hard right now. But the way some of our forefathers worked, not some of them, majority or all of them, the way they work, the way they grind, the way they put in work. If they was in your place, hear me out, if they was in your place, they'll be multi-millionaires because they run circles around the way we work. They run circles around the way we engage in our purpose. They run circles around the way we walk in our destiny, because a lot of us is slothful. A lot of us is lazy as hell. When they didn't work, they got beat. When they didn't work, they got the strap on them. When they didn't work, they had to watch their kids be sold off into a different PlayStation, and you had the audacity to be complaining about your life. At least you get wages. At least when you don't meet the quota of paying your rent, they are not selling off of your children. Listen to what the scripture said. As a hireling, man, that thing messed me up, man. I get a little emotional right now because this is a rebuke to me. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I be sitting up, man, I suppose. No. Don't be worrying about profiting to the nation, what you're supposed to be doing. Just keep doing what you already doing, and that's working in the vineyard of the Most High. He said, that's treasure laid up for you. That's a crown of righteousness laid up for you. A crown means royalty. You may not get your royal crown on this side of the earth. You may not get the empire. As long as you keep working for the Most High, when we get over there. As he said over in Job chapter 3, the weary will cease from troubling, and the wicked will cease from troubling weather, and the weary will be at rest. If I'm going to get rest over there, when I cross over into the grave, unto the spirit realm, then I can't be worrying about the rest I don't get or what the rest I do get here. I just got to keep working. And don't worry about what's going on. Let's move on to verse 3. I ain't trying to make this too long. I'm a preacher. Hands on the Most High is upon me because he anointed me to preach. Verse 3, so am I made to possess months of vanity. Listen to what Job said. He said, I'm made to possess. Y'all hear that? Let me repeat this. So am I made to possess months of vanity. This ain't something he asked for. This is how I know a lot of people that's calling on the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, they don't know who he is for real. Well, what you mean I don't know who he is for? Listen to what Job said again. So am I made to possess months of vanity. Meaning, Job is letting you know what he was going through. He didn't ask for this, but it found him. He didn't choose this, but it chose him, JoJo. Now watch this. This is how I know you don't believe in the Most High like you should. Job said, I was made to go do this. Now here it is, whatever you dealing with. Come on, rationalize this in your mind. Think logically. We know you didn't ask for it. The stuff that you're struggling with, we know you didn't ask for it. The heartache and pain you're dealing with, we know you didn't ask for it. But listen to what Job said. Job said, I didn't ask for it either, but I was made. I didn't choose it, it chose me. What is the blessing behind this? You talk about, I need you to fix this thing up. If you're going through it, you're going through it because the Most High allowed you to go through it. This is how I know a lot of people don't believe in the Most High. You think that you're going to wake up in the morning and choose to go do some pain, choose to go do some heartache, choose to go do the struggle? Huh? Ain't nobody in right mind to answer for that. But because it's your lot in life, then you just need to focus on the Most High because there's something better for you. I just did a message. Watch this. I just did a message. The introduction, the background of the book of Revelation to help people understand it. And it's going to be posting. I'll probably post it after I get out of this message. And in the message, watch this. In the message, I explained to the people how Rome and Domitian tried to kill John. I want y'all to pay attention to me. They tried to kill John. And one of the avenues they tried to kill John with was boiling him in hot oil. Just like the 3 Hebrew boys in Daniel chapter 3 been thrown into the fiery furnace, right? So they tried to kill John with boiling hot oil. But because they couldn't kill John, guess what they did? They secluded him. They isolated him. They put him on an island called Patmos, which was a prison, okay, for Rome prisoners. Now watch this. John out on the island called Patmos, he could have been complaining. He could have been griping. He could have been feeling all bad because he's isolated from what he's supposed to be doing, preaching. But what Rome didn't realize, by them punishing John and isolating John and putting him in prison on an island called Patmos, they didn't know they were setting him up for the best thing ever happened to John, and that was to have a vision of Yahushua HaMashiach and get the whole book of Revelation. This is why I know a lot of people don't believe in the Most High. Meaning, whatever you're dealing with right now, if the Most High is allowing you to deal with, that means he got a better setup for you. You can't see it now, but it's coming. There's something better. You just got to keep holding on. You got to keep holding the line. You got to keep having faith. Job said, I didn't choose suffering. It chose me. You think a lot of days I went through the life, you think I chose to lose my mama at an early age? Just getting in my 20s, you think I chose? Huh? Matter of fact, her birthday is coming up, the 28th of November. You think I got time to be weeping? Oh, where mama at? No, there's too much work to be getting done. It's too much to be doing for the kingdom of the Most High. The harvest is waiting on somebody to put in their sickle and reap the harvest. I can sit up like everybody else and cry. I can sit up like everybody else and weep. I can sit up like everybody else and wallow in my sorrow and wallow in this and that. And I got time to be doing it. Mama, you on the other side, you in the spirit world. And I know the Most High gave me confirmation about where your disposition ain't in the spirit world. So I don't got time to be sitting up whining and crying about you, mama. One of these days, I see you in the kingdom. What a day it'll be. He said, so am I made to possess months of vanity. Some of you going through some stuff right now, trying to make sense of it. How long? Listen, he said months. He didn't say no day, no week. He said months. How long? I've been dealing with this for so long. It don't seem like I'm productive. It don't seem like things are turning out the way I wanted to turn out. It's not looking like I'm seeing the expectations. I ain't getting no ROI, return of investment. How long? And sometimes people get so down and out, they feel lifeless, JoJo. They feel like they don't have no purpose. They feel like their life had no meaning. But listen, Job said, I didn't choose this. It chose me. He goes on to say, right here, and wearisome nights are appointed to me. Don't you know sometimes it feels like weary nights is appointed to you? I know what I'm talking about. I'm there a lot when you can't sleep at night. Your mind cluttered. Your mind is full of thoughts. Can't sleep. Your mind wrestling in the night. Sometimes it seems like sleep is so far removed. Job said he was appointed to wearisome nights. And some nights be wearisome, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all. It be so wearisome. The Most High sometimes assign you to nights where you can't get no sleep. Listen what he goes on to say, verse 4. When I lie down, I say, when shall I rise? And the night be gone. And I am full of tossing to and fro until the dawning of the day. Job is talking here. Every now and then you feel like you're weak. Every now and then you feel faithless. You feel like quitting. Like Job, you feel like you got insomnia. But you got to keep holding on. You got to keep holding on. No matter how bad it get, no matter how hard it get, you got to keep holding on. Now, I want you to notice something here. Okay, this just came to me. Job is saying this in chapter 7. Y'all hear me? He is saying this in chapter 7. And you know the word, the number 7 is mean wholeness, complete. But let's go another 7 chapters over. Let's see what Job say another 7 chapters over. Watch this. You know, this just came to me. We're going to go 7 chapters over. And we're going to go to, listen to Job chapter 14. That's 7 chapters over, right? 7 plus 7 equal 14. Verse 14, if a man die, should he live again? Here go that appointed time. In all the days of my appointed time, will I wait till my change come? So Job was letting you know, when you complete the cycle of the trouble the Most High allow you to go through, when you complete the cycle of the pain the Most High allow you to go through, when you complete your assignment in your pain, your assignment in your trouble, in your assignment in your trials and tribulation, the Most High will allow the change to come. Life is a war. As long as you alive, your change is going to come. No matter what coming upon you, your change is going to come. Job said, all the days of my appointed time, will I wait? Keep holding on. Your change is going to come. It's going to come. All right, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for your boy. All right, peace.